भगवान श्री योगी रामसुरत्कुमार की सर्वं योगी रामसुरत्कुमारार्पणमस्तु। We shall offer our grateful pranams for Bhagwan's this huge grace for us to be able to sing his name for 1 hour. There could have been many, many blocks. Our own mind would sometimes resist these opportunities, finding excuses for not repeating the name. Would find itself very busy with something or the other, would excuse itself. But we were able to sit together, chant his name no matter how busy we could have been otherwise. With deep gratitude, we acknowledge this grace from Bhagwan, and before we offer our prayers today, we shall see once again how and what Bhagwan talked to some people in Sanadi Street House. Again today, we shall all go to Sanadi Street House to be with Bhagwan. It was in 1980. Some people had come from Tapovanam and from other places. So let's also go and sit with them to listen to Bhagwan. A man entered and offered what we call Rama fruit, a fruit which goes in the name Rama. A very special one, very dear to Bhagwan. He said it was from Anandashram. So when he placed it before Bhagwan, Bhagwan became very happy. Oh, you are coming from Anandashram, my father's place. You have brought Papa Ramdas' blessings for all of us. And also this fruit from Sri Rama. So he celebrated this occasion with his peals of laughter, happy laughter, which drew everyone with him. And after that, he shared it with all those people seated there with him, a little to everyone, saying, it's Papa Ramdas' blessings from Anandashram on this special day. And somebody mentioned it was Mahamaham Day, a very auspicious time when a tank in Kumbakonam would be specially ready for lakhs of people, thousands of people, lakhs of them, to take a dip, a holy dip in the tank on this auspicious day at the auspicious time. There would be crowds and crowds of people crowding into the place for a holy dip in the tank. Now, when people mentioned that this was this auspicious day, Bhagwan declared, oh, today this beggar would pray to his father that he should bless all of us here who have gathered in the Sanadi Street House, just as he would do to people there. My father would bless all of us who have gathered here. This beggar would pray to Father. And then he stood up in a jump, had somebody bring some water in the coconut shell. He went out, looked up at the sun, looked up at the tower of Arunachaleshwara, and then put his hand on the coconut shell with water, blessed it. And again he went out, he looked up at the tower, at the sun, and blessed the water. He blessed the water 3 times like that. After that, he carried the coconut shell in one hand, and with the other hand, he started to sprinkle this water on everybody. What a fortune! So let us all join mentally and be with him and receive the shower of water drops, the holy drops, upon our head, right from the hand of Bhagwan Yogi Ramsuratkumar. And then he said, now you people have all had this holy dip in the Mahamaham tank in Kumbakonam. Lord Sarangapani, Lord Kumbeshwara is blessing all of you. And then he started to sing Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Guru is Brahma, the creator. Guru is none other than Mahavishnu. Guru is Maheshwara himself. And Guru is Sakshat Parabrahman, the ultimate truth, the pure awareness which is manifested as Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, the Trinity. Meaning that he himself was all that, and it was from his hand we were receiving all those holy drops of nectar. Then he said, wherever a jnani is, wherever a seer of truth is, there, just like the confluence of Ganga, Jamuna and Saraswati in Allahabad, it's called a Tribeni Sangam. He said the jnani's place, the very presence of a jnani, the very presence of a Mahatma in communion with God all the time. There is this confluence of these holy rivers. It's called Prayag. The very presence of a Mahatma, the very presence of a Jnani is Prayag. And those who gather around him, whenever they gather around him, whenever they visit him, whenever they sit in his presence, they are having a holy dip in the confluence of the holy rivers. And then Bhagwan talked about the seva. He said, the seva to the people is seva to God, and seva to God is seva to people. He said even a little seva to God amounts to enormous seva to people. And then he said, above all these sevas, the supreme seva is seva to one's guru, seva to sadhus, seva to mahatmas. I remember at this point in Sudama, many years later, he took me to the amla tree, the gooseberry tree, and then he showed me the roots of the tree. He said, Devaki, when you pour water to the roots of a tree, you know the sap goes up to the very tip of every branch. It goes to every leaf, every flower, every fruit. It goes to the entire tree. And then he said, a Mahatma who has become one with God, who is in constant communion with God. When you do seva to a Mahatma, it is doing seva to the entire creation, because they have become one with the entire creation. At the time, two brothers came to see Bhagwan. When Bhagwan was just talking about seva to the sadhus, seva to the poor, seva to the jnanis. And he was commending the service to these great souls. A man came with his brother. And then they said that the brothers the elder brother had a fall and he had fractured his hand and it was healing. And immediately, a few months after, the other brother also had a fall. When he was riding a bike, he fell down and fractured his hand. And they had marks on the hand. And they showed. They were devotees of Shri Jnanananda Giri Swami. So when Bhagwan saw the fractured hand, and of course it had healed, but it had left a mark. Then Bhagwan, with great love and tenderness, said, "You see, you people have been serving Shri Jnanananda Giri Swami, which is no small task, which is no small seva. When a squirrel was attempting to do seva to Rama, Rama was overwhelmed with love. He immediately took this little squirrel. What seva the squirrel was doing? It was, they were building the bridge and they were throwing stones which would float so that they could make a bridge of the stones. And what could this poor squirrel do? But it so much wanted to serve Shri Rama. So the squirrel would go to the place where there was soil and then it would roll over that so that the soil would stick to his body. And then it would run there to the place where they were all throwing stones. It would drop all those. It would shake it. News of this sand would fall there. And then again it would come and roll on the sand of the beach. And then it would go and shake itself so that all those sand particles would drop off. So Rama was watching this and he was overwhelmed with love. And immediately he took the squirrel in his hand and stroked its back. And it left 3 white marks, 3 white lines on the back of the squirrel. This is the story behind the squirrel's 3 white lines on the back. This is an old story. And Swami was narrating this and said, just as the squirrel did seva to Shri Rama, and Shri Rama left 3 white lines on its back out of love, out of grace. You people have been serving your Guru, Shri Jnanananda Giri Swami. It is his marks of love on your hand. Do not think of it negatively. Do not think, oh, I was doing service to Swami and see what happened to me. I fractured my hand and I have a mark left behind. Think that they were marks of love in appreciation of your service to your Guru. Just see how Bhagwan interprets everything. Bhagwan told me once, the closer you are to God, the higher the interpretation you put upon everything, every happening. Swami used this to make a point that when we are engaged in seva to our Guru, we receive many blows, we receive humiliations, we receive a lot of criticism from people unnecessarily. It was Swami's advice to us by making this point. Think that your humiliations, the blows that you get, are blessings, marks of love from your Gurudev. What a beautiful way of saying it. So in our seva to God, in our seva to people, in our seva to our Gurudev, whatever blows we receive, we should look upon them as marks of love and appreciation from the Guru. And then Bhagwan mentioned Shri Hanuman. He said, just see how devoted Hanuman was to Rama Seva. When he was sent to Sri Lanka, he was captured by Indrajit. And what was more, they tied him up, they dragged him along the streets of Sri Lanka, and those Rakshasas were torturing Hanumanji. And they set fire to his tail. And yet, Shri Hanuman did not mind, did not bother with all these things. His focus was completely on Rama's work. He just did not care if the fire was burning him. He did not care how much they tortured him. He did not care. He did not bother with the humiliations he had to go through in the hands of those Rakshasic people. All that he could think of was Rama's seva. So Swami said, this is the ideal. This is the way. We must all become Hanumanji. Our focus must be only on seva, and we should not mind what blows we get in the process, what humiliations we receive, what criticisms come our way. It's all Rama Seva, and these humiliations and criticisms from fellow devotees and the blows we get in the course of seva, they are all to be considered as marks of appreciation from the Guru, marks of love from the Guru. So this is how he concluded the talk. How fortunate we are to have been able to visit him at Sanadi Street House along with these people who were present there, and listen to Bhagwan. So let's remember, this is the way Shri Hanumanji was chanting Ram Nam all the time, and he was highly focused on Rama Seva. So this is how we should be. The monkey mind. Our minds are like monkeys all the time, jumping from one thought to the other. Just as the monkeys jump from one branch of a tree to another, our minds are always wandering from one thought to the other. But this monkey mind must be made to serve as Hanuman. So we shall offer our prayers today at the feet of Bhagwan, praying that